Good morning, students. This is Murthy sir. In the last class, we discussed about bacteria, algae, and fungi, their useful aspects and harmful aspects. Today, we will learn about protozoans, microarthropods, and viruses. First, we will learn about protozoans. Protozoans are microscopic, unicellular, and eukaryotic organisms, and they are basically heterotrophic organisms. Students, in the previous lesson, we learnt about amoeba. So, amoeba is a protozoan. The other important examples are Paramecium, Euglena, Verticella. So, all these are unicellular protozoans. Let us see here, in addition to amoeba, Paramecium is there and Euglena is also there. Euglena is photosynthetic. It is unicellular, just like amoeba and Paramecium, but it contains chloroplast and it can photosynthesize. Paramecium is called slipper animalcule. You see the structure of Paramecium, it looks like a slipper, the shape of the body. And if you look at the structure of Euglena, it has one flagellum, one long whip-like structure. It is called flagellum. It is useful for movement in water. Students, when we look at the detailed structure of amoeba, one nucleus is there in the central region, food vacuole is there, contractile vacuole, and cell membrane is there surrounding the whole cell body. And pseudopodia, they are finger-like projections which are useful for movement in water, and also with the help of pseudopodia, it collects food material. After collecting the food material, food vacuole digests that food material with the help of some enzymes. The waste material that is formed in the body, in the cell body, will be expelled out with the help of contractile vacuole. And also, the contractile vacuole maintains osmoregulation. As it lives in water, the amount of water in the body is maintained by contractile vacuole. Students, now we will learn about parasitic protozoans, the disease-causing protozoans. Parasitic organisms are those which enter into the living bodies like human beings, plants, animals, and after entering, they take shelter and food material from the host, and also they cause some harm in the form of infection and disease. Students, first we will learn about malaria. Malaria is a protozoan infection. In case of malaria, the disease-causing pathogen is Plasmodium, but the vector or carrier of this disease is female Anopheles mosquito. First, this mosquito bites us, and when it bites, it injects that Plasmodium parasite into our blood unknowingly. Malaria is a fatal disease which killed millions of people throughout the world. People who are infected with malaria, they suffer from high fever and shivering. Friends, you can see here female Anopheles mosquito. When it bites an infected person, the Plasmodium parasite enters into the body of this mosquito, and after some time, this mosquito, when it bites a healthy person, from the body of this mosquito, Plasmodium parasite enters into the blood of healthy person. In that way, the infection will spread from one person to another person because of this vectors, that is female Anopheles mosquito. Students, here you can see the detailed structure of Plasmodium, a protozoan. It's a protozoan but parasitic organism. It causes malaria disease, and it's a very dreadful disease which claimed millions of people throughout the world. So the labeling is there, complete detailed structure you can see here, Plasmodium. So this is the pathogen which causes that malaria infection. Mosquito is just a vector or carrier. Students, in this picture you can see Sir Ronald Ross, who discovered malarial parasite. The life cycle of malarial parasite was discovered by Sir Ronald Ross. He was an army doctor. He was an Anglo-Indian, and he did research at Secunderabad. Now it is there in Telangana state. So there he did research for many years, and this remarkable contribution earned him Nobel Prize. So before his discovery, the medical community, they don't know how this disease is spreading actually. Students, the building where he did research at Secunderabad, it is preserved as a monument. Students, even today, this malaria infection kills many people, especially in tribal areas, agency areas, hilly areas like Seeleru, Araku, Paderu. There, if proper medical facilities are not there, the people who are infected, they will not undergo proper treatment and it leads to death. Students, now let us learn about preventive measures. How to prevent this infection? We have to use mosquito repellents, we have to use mosquito nets, and especially in winter season, these mosquitoes will be more, they will breed more. So better to wear long sleeved clothes. And other important preventive measures are, we have to use mesh for the doors and windows, and we have to take care in our surroundings. If any stagnant water is there, we have to remove that. We should not allow water to stagnate. In the surroundings, if anywhere stagnant water is there, we have to pour kerosene, or we have to culture gambusia fish, which feeds on the mosquito larvae. Another important preventive measure is, in our home, in the front yard or backyard, if any unused plastic or metallic containers are there, we have to see that water will not stagnate in that. Water should not remain in those unused empty containers. If water remains in that, this mosquito will breed there and their number will multiply and they may become cause for infection. Now we will learn about another important protozoan parasite. Its name is Entamoeba histolytica. This is a protozoan parasite which causes amoebic dysentery or amoebiosis. Students, this infection causes abdominal pain and bleeding stools. Mostly it spreads through contaminated water or food. So when we take food, better to take it in a good hotel or restaurant when we go out. Roadside food items, they may not use filtered water and there is chance for contamination of water. So we have to be very careful. So it mainly spreads through contaminated water and food. Students, now we will learn about microarthropods. Arthropoda is one invertebrate phylum in which many insects are there. So these microarthropods, they cause some infection in humans. The most popular one is scabies mite. The scabies mite, especially in children, it causes scabies infection. This infection, wounds will form on the hands and legs with pus. Especially in children, it spreads from one child to another child very fast. When this infected fluid falls on the hands or legs of another child, it spreads very fast. The infected children must take treatment. They have to use antibiotics. Then the infection will be cured. The biological name of this scabies mite is Sarcoptes scabi. Students, now we will learn about most interesting microorganisms, viruses. You all know the whole world is threatened by this coronavirus, COVID-19. Viruses are microscopic parasites, generally much smaller than bacteria. They lack that prokaryotic cell structure also. First, these viruses were discovered by Dmitry Ivanovsky. He first discovered tobacco mosaic virus. It is called TMV. Dmitry Ivanovsky was a Russian virologist who studied tobacco mosaic virus. It destroys tobacco crop. It's a very commercially useful crop, you know. Students, you might have heard about this HIV virus. The full form is human immunodeficiency virus, which is responsible for AIDS disease. And this infection mainly spreads through infected blood. Students, you all know about poliovirus. In your infancy or early childhood, you have taken this oral polio drops. This poliovirus spreads through contaminated water or air, and there is vaccine for this. First, Jonas Salk, he prepared vaccine for polio infection. A child who is infected with poliovirus, the motor neurons that are present in hands and legs, they will be destroyed by this virus, and it leads to paralysis. Hands and legs will become crippled. Albert Sabin prepared oral polio vaccine so that infants will not get pain at the time of taking vaccine.